So it's the Data Protection Diaries vlog 5. Yet again we are outside in the wind. This time though, there it is. We are in sunny Warsaw. Back in the office this week, a few things to be doing. Got some interesting stuff to talk to you through on the project as well, so we'll take you through that and we'll see where we get to. I feel like this is very James Corden carpool karaoke style filming, but don't worry, I'm not gonna be singing anything today. We have a number of businesses throughout the UK. There are 5 in total, and I'm the data protection officer for each of those businesses. Today we're up in Helplink, which is in Leeds, which is a boiler installation business, and we've been talking to the guys here about where they are with their GDPR program and implementing the group framework. Because there are so many different businesses and they all do different things and they operationally work in different ways, we do allow them to operationally put that framework in place in a way that suits their businesses. And one of the things that we do as a part of that is to make sure that we come and spend time with them, to make sure that they understand those requirements and they're being able to do the things that they need to do. We tend to come up here about once a month, so myself, my project manager James, will come up here and work up here with Joanne Marsh and the team that are up here. For me, one of the most important things about this program has always been to be in front of people. If you're asking somebody to do something and you're asking somebody to engage with you and do an activity, then you need to make sure that you're engaging with them and you need to make sure that you're putting as much effort in. And for me, the big part of that is coming up here and spending time with them, putting a face to the name and sitting in front of people. It's a 5-hour round trip just to come up to Leeds for a 1-hour meeting, but the benefits for me and the benefits for the guys here are really fantastic. This week we are really going to talk about the program structure, so how our GDPR program is stood up, and some of the key things that we're going to be doing this week, which are going to be looking to roll out before the beginning of May. So it'll be a slightly different take on what we normally do, but hopefully it will give you a good insight into what we actually do on a daily basis, and hopefully you'll find it interesting. Okay, so this is a little bit exciting for me, but probably not as exciting for you. We're about to go into a meeting with our DTS Digital team who look after our website, because we finally agreed what our consent wording is going to be, and we now need to map it out and see what it looks like on the website. Hopefully I'll be able to give you a view of that in about 2 minutes. Okay, so slightly less excited than I thought it was going to be. The good news is that we've managed to agree the content and the copy and the wording that's going to go on the website for the new consent statement. Our consent statement has been through an external provider, and we've had it scored, and we've gone out to consumers and got their view on whether they would consent or not to a variety of statements. We've managed to agree the copy for the website, which is great, which is here. One problem that's arisen that I hadn't quite anticipated was the way that these tick boxes are now going to talk to the system. An existing customer buying something on the website, and they've previously had an opt-out consent, and now they're having to opt in, and they don't opt in. Which record is that going to sit on? How do we know which consent is the correct consent? What's valid? So we're going to have to talk to the data services team about that. But we are planning on going live with the new consent statement on the 25th of April, so I'm excited to see how that looks on the website. Next up today, I'm going to go and have more meetings, to be honest. There's still quite a lot of work to do, as you can see from the board behind me. Some of our work streams are completed, some of them are still work in progress, but we're getting there, and hopefully we're going to start closing some of those off pretty soon. And there's a few other work streams that we're going to try and close off this week. So if there's any other interesting things that come out of that, then obviously we'll add those onto the vlog as well, and we'll keep you posted. It's Friday in the office. Once a fortnight. Is it once a fortnight we have a catch up? We do. Once a fortnight we have a catch up. This is Steve Pritchard, our group CISO. As you can tell, he loves to be on the camera and he loves to have a chat. We were going to talk about whether or not we could get an apprentice and share an apprentice between us, but we just realised that Steve's got a conference call, so we're going to pick this up this afternoon, and hopefully we'll give you some details around that later. So that's it for this week. I managed to catch up with Steve briefly around the apprentice program. Well, it's not an apprentice program, but there's an idea that we could have a joint apprentice between me and him, so like a privacy information security apprentice, which will give us a bit of succession planning as well, which will be really interesting. And then we can obviously start to hopefully introduce privacy and security to people from a younger age as well, which would be really cool. So we'll talk to the L&D team about that. The good news is we managed to fix the consent issue and the tick box issue. The data services team have confirmed that the current record will be the lead record for all marketing, so that is no longer a problem. One of the other things that we managed to sort this week as well, which I already posted about on LinkedIn previously, was around our fair processing notices and whether we'd have to have 2 notices, one for our underwriter and one for us. It's been agreed that we do need to have 2 notices, one for each controller. It's not the end of the world. Obviously there's a production cost involved in that, but the Create team here are working really hard to see if we can pull that together, so we should still be online to finish that in time for the May deadline as well, which hopefully means we can tick one more thing off the list. But for this week, that's it from me. So we'll be back next week. It's Good Friday though, so maybe we'll do a Thursday vlog, maybe we'll leave it till after the weekend. We'll see how it goes. I'd say as always, if anybody's got any questions or anything interesting that they'd like us to cover, please do let us know. I really hope you've enjoyed watching it. As I say, any comments, please add them below, and we've got a YouTube channel, so please feel free to subscribe to that as well, and we'll see you soon. Thanks a lot.